First at 9. This is Other Derana 24/7.
President declares 82 new patriots. 2 weapons and live ammunition found at Mount Lavinia Magistrates Court premises. Dengue rise in Kinya, Trincomalee. Trump strikes brighter note at Congress address. I'm Indivariya Muatta. This is your news at 9. In your headline-making story, President Maithripala Sirisena declared 82 heroes of the 1818 Uwa Vellassa rebellion as patriots today. A historic ceremony titled Uttamabhivandana was held in Kandy. The historic ceremony to declare the heroes of the 1818 Uwa Vellassa rebellion as patriots was held today at the Magul Madua in Kandy under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena. The 82 individuals who were declared as traitors and sentenced to capital punishment or were expatriated by the British have since been considered national heroes by Sri Lankans. At today's ceremony, President Sirisena signed the Gazette notification related to the second phase of the process, declaring the Uwa Vellassa heroes of the 1818 rebellion as patriots. Chief prelates of the Malvatta and Asgiriya chapters, the Mahasangha, ministers and parliamentarians, as well as descendants of the heroes of the 1818 rebellion were also present at the event. In December last year, Sri Lanka cleared the names of 19 individuals described as traitors for leading an insurrection against colonial rule nearly 200 years ago. President Maithripala Sirisena annulled the Gazette issued in the year 1818, listing 19 Vellassa heroes, including Monaravila Kappetipula, famously known as Kappetipula Disave, as traitors. Meanwhile, during the ceremony, President Sirisena revealed that the Kandian Rural Rehabilitation Commission is now re-established.
උඩරට ගැමි පුනරුදාපන කොමිසම පසුගිය කාල සීමාවල් වල අහෝසි කර තිබෙනවා. මහා සංඝරත්නයේ
The Kandian Rural Rehabilitation Commission was nullified back then. The Venerable Mahasangha pointed out to me that economic development in the region has slowed due to the commission being nullified. I am happy to announce that I have taken action to re-establish the commission and it has been approved by the cabinet.
මෙහිදී තාමත් සතුටින් මම ප්‍රකාශ කරන්නට ඕනේ.
Meanwhile, a 6th-generation descendant of the national hero Monaravila Kappetipula, Mantrini Monaravila Kappetipula, who is currently living in the United Kingdom, expressed her views to Other Derana regarding the state honour her forefather received.
Sri Lanka Janarajayටත් ගරු ජනාධිපතිතුමන්ටත් මගේ කැප්පෙටිපොළ.
On behalf of my Kappetipula family, I thank the government and the president. They were always patriots and that's why they were declared as traitors. That is why I am really happy about correcting this.
එම නිසා ඒ නිවැරදි කරනවා නම් මම බොහොම අගය කරනවා.
And on the developments of the much spoken about bond issuance, members to the Commission of Inquiry investigating the controversial bond issue visited the central bank today in order to observe the process of a treasury bond auction organized by the Public Debt Department. Members of the Commission of Inquiry, Supreme Court judges K.T. Chitrasiri and Prasanna Jawardena, as well as retired Attorney General Kandasamy Velipulle and an attorney representing perpetual treasuries, attended the bond auction at the central bank. The treasury bond auction, which commenced at 8:30 a.m. at the department auction house, lasted for 3 hours. The Commission will convene sittings tomorrow at 10 a.m.
According to standard procedure, the central bank is supposed to end all transactions by 11 a.m. However, according to the COPE report, on the day the alleged central bank scam occurred, a phone call was made to the central bank and subsequently the auction was prolonged by 5 minutes. It is clear that a mysterious transaction took place during that extended time.
ස්වයංක්‍රීයව මේ යාන්ත්‍රණය වැහි යන ආකාරය දකින්න ඇති. 2012 වෙනකන් මුදල් අමාත්‍ය
Until 2012, the President had to approve by signature all Gazette notifications. However, from 2013 onwards, this tradition ceased and Gazette notifications were printed without the approval of the President, who was also the Finance Minister at the time. Due to this practice in 2013, it continued into 2015. But this is wrong, according to the Act.
අනත අනුව වැරදි.
And on the constitution-making process, core cabinet spokesperson Minister Dr. Rajitha Senaratne says the government's stance is that a referendum is required regarding the proposed constitutional amendments. Dr. Senaratne was speaking at the weekly cabinet media briefing in Colombo today.
The government's intention is to abolish the executive presidency and to change the electoral system. The principle of the government and the legislative. Yes, we are going for a referendum. They did not establish this government. There were certain promises made to those who brought the president to power. A 3-member committee was recommended to pay compensation to 16 who died. The other 11 tried to escape. 11 million rupees will be paid to the families of those who lost their lives. The injured will be paid $500,000 rupees. The complete report was handed over to the cabinet. They were not killed in a conflict. That is what we believe. The OIC of Kalutara North Police is suspended. This is not the first time something like that has happened. Everything happened then. If they had controlled the underworld, how could incidents like these still happen? There are 2 accused. One refused to go. When we ordered his suspension from service, he reported to the National Hospital. That is why we are holding these investigations.
Police recovered a pistol, a revolver and 10 bullets hidden inside a bag within the Mount Lavinia Magistrates Court. Police spokesperson Priyantha Jayakodi said that the investigations revealed so far that some form of preparation to carry out a mass shooting had been made. Jayakodi further added that the functions of the Magistrates Court have been suspended and all individuals who were present at the site during the time have been detained. Police are using sniffer dogs to search the premises. Nearly 400 people are reported to be affected with dengue in Kenya in the Trincomalee districts. Reports say that the number of patients admitted to hospitals have increased within the last 2 weeks.
In the past fortnight, there were 390 admissions of dengue patients to the Kenya Base Hospital in Trincomalee. As admissions increase, patients are facing difficulties due to a lack of facilities and doctors in the hospital. The National Dengue Control Unit, the Maulawis of the area and the doctors of the hospital meanwhile held a meeting to discuss the shortage of doctors to treat the increasing number of patients.
We will talk to the doctors and nurses regarding how to strengthen the resources of the hospital. If there are any shortages of resources, we will get the assistance of other doctors and nurses in the area. There is adequate space for patients in the nearby hospitals as well. We will discuss with the VP doctors tonight.
An other Derana reporter ran across a pit inside the Kenya Muslim girls' school which breeds dengue mosquitoes. Residents complain that authorities do not take any steps to prevent mosquitoes breeding in the area.
Three patients are reported to be dead. There are around 395 patients in the hospitals now. We cannot hope that authorities will do anything to eradicate dengue. There is no decrease in dengue. There is an issue with the water drainage system in the area. I request the President to take steps to prevent dengue from the area.
Meanwhile, when questioned on the issue, Dr. Samitha Giganage of the Epidemiology Unit confirmed that there is an increase in the number of dengue infections in the first 2 months of this year compared to the first 2 months of 2016.
Addressing the 34th session of the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva today, the Deputy Assistant Secretary of the United States, Erin Barclay, spoke on how the Human Rights Council has successfully held Sri Lanka accountable for alleged human rights violations. However, Barclay also pointed out that the Council's unfair and biased focus on Israel still leaves the US deeply troubled.
When the Council functions properly, it has the ability to remind states of their commitments and obligations. It can hold countries accountable for the same. When the Council works as it should, its successes are victories for human rights. For example, HRC action catalyzed progress for reform and provided technical assistance to improve accountability for past violations in Sri Lanka. The United States also remains deeply troubled by the Council's consistent, unfair, and unbalanced focus on one democratic country, Israel. No other nation is the focus of an entire agenda item. How is that a sensible priority? The obsession with Israel through Agenda Item 7 is the largest threat to this Council's credibility. It limits the good we can accomplish by making a mockery of this Council.
Whistleblower Edward Snowden yesterday posted a plea on Twitter on behalf of 3 Sri Lankans who helped him and fed him for weeks in Hong Kong. Edward Snowden, who leaked thousands of classified documents in 2013, has an outstanding American arrest warrant and lives in exile in Moscow.
The Sri Lankan asylum seekers Ajit Pushpakumara, Supun Kelapatha and his wife Nadika are credited with helping and sheltering Snowden prior to his flight to Moscow, where he remains after his high-profile exposure of secret documents revealing the extent of the US government's abuse of mass surveillance. In June 2013, US federal prosecutors filed a criminal complaint against Snowden, charging him with the theft of government property and 2 counts of violating the Espionage Act in America. Snowden, on the run from these charges, yesterday tweeted, "If you can, please help. The families who sheltered me are reportedly sought by Sri Lanka's CID." He also linked a video plea made by actor Joseph Gordon-Levitt. The lawyer has also said that visits were made to Hong Kong looking for them. However, Sri Lanka police have denied the allegations. In a statement, Sri Lanka police said that an assistant director of the CID was in Hong Kong to attend a cybercrime conference and not in connection with Snowden or the Sri Lankan refugees.
And we take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. The Australian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Bryce Hutchison, says that more needs to be done to improve the Sri Lankan tourism industry. He said this speaking at the launch of a market development facility today.
The Market Development Facility, which aims to support inclusive growth of tourism and related sectors in Sri Lanka, is a partnership between the Australian High Commission and the Ministry of Tourism Development. Under the MDF, the Australian government will contribute up to 1 billion rupees over 4 years in business grants and development services.
This will be in business grants and business development services. We're not talking about loans or anything of that sort. The overwhelming focus of the MDF is on private sector development. This is a new form of development partnership. It's built on a recognition that the private sector is the principal engine of growth and of job creation in almost any economy. It's a tough market out there internationally. Sri Lanka can win in this game, but more needs to be done.
And we have Imeshi Fernando from the Colombo Stock Exchange to give us an update of how the Colombo stocks performed today.
The benchmark all-share price index lost 12.85 points to close at 6,121.43, while the S&P Sri Lanka 20 index lost 5.27 points to close at 3,538.55. The turnover was 382.15 million rupees with 12.8 million shares changed in hands in 3,076 trades. The market capitalization at the end of the day was 2,692.7 billion rupees. Top 5 gainers of the day were Blue Diamonds, Swarnamahal Financial Services, Lucky Lanka, Amana Leisure and Anilana Hotels, while the top 5 losers were Blue Diamonds, non-voting, Equity 2, The Finance Company, Serendip Hotels non-voting and Amana Takaful. Today's foreign purchases were 240.86 million rupees and foreign sales were 128.92 million rupees. There were 2 crossings today and the crossings turnover was 94.14 million rupees.
Here's a look now at how the Sri Lanka rupee traded against major currencies. That was a look at your business news. We'll be right back after this commercial break. And in your sports stories, World Cup winning Sri Lankan batsman Asanka Gurusinghe has been appointed manager of the national cricket team. Gurusinghe relieves Ranjit Fernando, who took up the role of a temporary basis following SLC's decision to loosen ties with previous manager Chadit Senanayake.
Former Sri Lankan cricketer Asanka Gurusinghe had a successful 11-year international career. He scored 2,452 runs in 41 tests and 3,902 runs in 147 one-day internationals, among which he played a key role in helping the country to win the 1996 World Cup.
He's hit that one down the ground. That's well played. A loose delivery.
Asanka Gurusinghe was awarded the title of Deshabandhu in 1996 for his meritorious role in the World Cup victory and has been domiciled in Australia for the past years. He is a Level 3 certified cricket coach with many years of experience and most recently served as a consultant region cricket coach for Cricket Australia. Gurusinghe will arrive in Sri Lanka in the next few days to begin work with the team ahead of the series against Bangladesh.
That's certainly good news for Sri Lanka cricket fans. And Sri Lanka Army today promoted Sri Lanka cricketers Sikuge Prasanna and Asela Gunaratne. Warrant Officer Second Class Sikuge Prasanna has been promoted to the rank of Warrant Officer First Class. Sri Lanka Army said the promotion links to Sikuge Prasanna's outstanding performances in the Sri Lanka tour of South Africa. Sergeant Asela Gunaratne, meanwhile, was promoted to the rank of Warrant Officer Second Class in recognition of his achievements in the T20 internationals against Australia. Asela Gunaratne was named Man of the Series during the tour. Well, US President Donald Trump struck a relatively brighter, more inspiring chord today in his first address to Congress after taking office. Trump focused on several key issues, including reforms in economy, immigration and foreign policy in a primetime address aimed at bolstering low approval ratings.
Trump's address began with an outright condemnation of recent acts of anti-Semitism and the hate crime shooting of 2 Indian men in Kansas, but continued to stand upon a nationalistic base, calling for America to receive the highest priority.
We've defended the borders of other nations while leaving our own borders wide open for anyone to cross, and we've spent trillions and trillions of dollars overseas while our infrastructure at home has so badly crumbled.
The US president voiced his stance on immigration, encouraging reforms and the introduction of a merit-based immigration system along with sweeping changes to the economy, emphasizing plans for tax reforms.
At the same time, we will provide massive tax relief for the middle class.
The reactions of US lawmakers to Trump's speech were mixed and divided distinctly along party lines, with approval from fellow Republicans and opposition from Democrats.
And on the developments of the murder that has created a diplomatic row between North Korea and Malaysia, 2 female suspects were arrested for the killing of Kim Jong-nam, estranged half-brother of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, were charged with murder today by a Malaysian court. The 2 women appeared in court in Kuala Lumpur, escorted by special forces.
Malaysian authorities say Doan Thi Huang from Vietnam and Siti Aisyah from Indonesia, along with 4 other suspects who are still at large, were at the departure hall of the Kuala Lumpur airport intending to murder the North Korean citizen by applying a highly toxic nerve agent to his face. The women have denied intentional murder and Huang has claimed innocence. Both have claimed that they were unwitting pawns, having been paid to take part in what they believed was a television prank. Malaysian police arrested the women days after the attack, after the incident had been captured on security cameras at the airport. If convicted, they could face the death penalty.
And we take a short commercial break. We'll be back with your weather report on the other side. On to your weather report for tomorrow. Due to an atmospheric disturbance in the vicinity of Sri Lanka, the prevailing rainy condition is expected to continue during the next few days, starting from tomorrow to the 4th of March. Fairly strong winds at times can be expected over the island and surrounding sea areas. Cloudy skies along with showers or thunder showers can be expected at times over most parts of Sri Lanka. Heavy showers in the meantime of about 100 millimeters are also likely at some places, especially in the eastern and north central provinces. Here's a look at your city-by-city forecast. That wraps up your news tonight. For the very latest, you can join us or log on to www.otherderana.lk or like us on Facebook and Twitter. Before we go, we would like to leave you with some visuals of Sicily's Mount Etna erupting with fountains of lava producing a spectacular show.
Information 24 hours a day. This is Sri Lanka's premier news channel, Other Derana 24/7.